Hey Cancer, welcome back. I need to talk to you about something that is happening right now in your energy field. And honestly, this reading showed me some things that I was not expecting at all. So grab whatever you are drinking, get comfortable, because what I am about to share with you involves someone who is going through something very specific because of you and the way you walked away or the way you stood your ground. Before we get into this, I just want to say that this reading is for your highest good. And sometimes the truth is not what we expect, but it is always what we need to hear. The cards are showing me a very clear story about someone in your life who is dealing with the consequences of losing you or losing access to you, and there is so much more happening beneath the surface than what they are showing to the world. All right, so let me tell you what I pulled. I am looking at 6 cards here, and Cancer, the energy is intense. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Hierophant, 8 of Pentacles, Temperance, 7 of Swords, and the Hermit. When I laid these out, I actually had to take a moment because the story these cards are telling is so specific and so revealing about what this person is actually experiencing versus what they are projecting outward. Let me start with the first card, which is the Wheel of Fortune and Cancer. This card came out with such strong energy. The Wheel of Fortune is all about cycles, karma, destiny, and the turning points in our lives that we cannot control. What I am seeing here is that this person, whoever they are to you, whether this is a romantic connection, a friendship, maybe even a family member, they are experiencing a major shift in their life, and this shift is directly connected to you and your absence or your decision to step back. Here is what is fascinating about the Wheel of Fortune in this position. This card is telling me that this person thought they had control over the situation with you. They thought they could treat you a certain way, take you for granted, maybe manipulate the dynamic, or just assume you would always be there regardless of how they behaved. But now the wheel has turned, and they are realizing that karma is real and that every action has a consequence. The Wheel of Fortune is showing me that this person is going through what I call a cosmic correction. Life is showing them that they cannot just do whatever they want without facing the natural consequences. What they put out into the universe, specifically what they put out toward you, is now coming back to them, and they are feeling the weight of that. This is not about punishment, Cancer. This is about balance. This is about the universe restoring equilibrium. I am also getting that this person may be experiencing other areas of their life falling apart or shifting dramatically at the same time. It is like when one domino falls, others follow. Their relationship with you was somehow connected to their sense of stability or their ego or their daily routine, and now that you are gone or distant, other things in their life are also feeling unstable. The Wheel of Fortune does not just affect one area, it touches everything. What I want you to understand, Cancer, is that you walking away or setting that boundary was actually a catalyst for their karmic lesson. You were not being cruel, you were not being cold, you were simply honoring yourself, and that action set the wheel in motion. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do for someone is allow them to face the consequences of their choices, because that is how growth happens. Now let me move to the second card, and this one really surprised me. We have the Hierophant here, and Cancer. This is so telling about what is happening with this person right now. The Hierophant represents tradition, conventional wisdom, seeking guidance from authority figures or established systems, and also the public face we present to society. This card is showing me that this person is putting on a very specific performance for the outside world. Here is what I am seeing. On the surface, this person is acting like everything is fine. They might be telling mutual friends or posting on social media or presenting themselves in public as if your absence has not affected them at all. The Hierophant energy is very much about maintaining appearances and following social scripts. So this person is saying all the right things like, I am fine, I do not care, I have moved on, I am better off, whatever narrative helps them save face in front of others. But here is the kicker, Cancer. The Hierophant in this reading is also showing me that this person might actually be seeking help or guidance behind the scenes. They could be talking to friends, asking what they should do, maybe even consulting their own spiritual advisor or therapist, or just desperately trying to figure out how to process what happened between you two. The Hierophant represents seeking wisdom from external sources when we do not trust our own inner voice, and that is exactly what this person is doing. What is really interesting is the contrast between their public persona and their private struggle. Publicly, they are performing indifference. They are following the social script of pretending they are unbothered. But privately, they are confused, they are seeking answers, they are trying to understand where things went wrong. The Hierophant can also represent someone who is very concerned with what other people think. And I am getting that this person cares deeply about how they are perceived in relation to this situation with you. There is also an element here of this person possibly trying to use conventional approaches to fix things or make sense of things. Like they might be following advice from friends that does not actually address the real issue, or they might be trying to apply traditional relationship rules to a situation that requires actual emotional honesty and vulnerability. The Hierophant can sometimes indicate someone who is more comfortable with the form of things rather than the substance. And I am seeing that this person is focusing on the external structure rather than doing the real internal work. So, Cancer, what you need to know is that while this person is broadcasting that they do not care, the truth is they are deeply affected and they are struggling to process this in a healthy way. They are more concerned with how they look to others than with genuine self-reflection, and that is preventing them from actually healing or growing from this experience. Let me pull the third card now, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, Cancer. This card is so specific, and it is revealing another layer of what is happening with this person. The Eight of Pentacles is the card of dedication, hard work, skill development, and focusing on craft or career. This is someone who is pouring themselves into their work or some kind of project or goal as a way to avoid dealing with their emotional reality. I am seeing that this person is using productivity as a shield. They are staying extremely busy, maybe working longer hours than usual, throwing themselves into their career or their hobbies or their fitness routine or whatever allows them to focus on something tangible and measurable rather than facing the messy emotional truth of what losing you means to them. The Eight of Pentacles is about repetitive, focused effort, and this person is using that energy to distract themselves from their feelings. Here is what makes this particularly revealing. The Eight of Pentacles often shows up when someone is trying to build something or prove something, and I am getting that this person might be trying to prove to themselves and to others that they are fine, that they are thriving, that they do not need you. Look at me, I am working hard, I am accomplishing things, I am improving myself. But the truth is that this is a coping mechanism and not a genuine path to healing. There is also an element of this person possibly trying to become a better version of themselves in response to losing you, but doing it from a place of ego rather than genuine growth. Like they want to show you what you are missing, or they want to prove that they were always good enough. The Eight of Pentacles can indicate someone who is refining their skills and improving, but the motivation matters. And I am seeing that this person's motivation is rooted in avoidance and pride rather than authentic self-development. What is sad about this Cancer is that all this effort and all this work is not actually helping them process what happened between you two. They are building and creating and staying busy, but they are not sitting with their emotions. They are not reflecting on their behavior. They are not taking accountability for whatever role they played in pushing you away. The Eight of Pentacles is about mastery and dedication, but you cannot master your way out of emotional work that needs to be done. I also want to mention that this card can sometimes indicate financial focus or material success, and I am getting that this person might be experiencing some career wins or financial improvements during this time, and they are using those external successes to convince themselves and others that they are doing great. But Cancer, you and I both know that external success does not equal internal peace. And this person is far from peaceful right now, even if their Instagram feed looks perfect. All right, now we get to the fourth card, and this is where the reading takes a very interesting turn. We have Temperance here, and this card is showing me that despite everything I just described, there is a part of this person that knows they need to find balance. Temperance is the card of moderation, patience, healing, and integration. It is about bringing together opposing forces and finding the middle path. What I am picking up is that deep down, underneath all the performance and the busy work and the public pretending, this person has moments of clarity where they recognize that they are out of balance. They have moments where they think, maybe I did mess this up. Maybe I need to look at my behavior. Maybe I am not handling this well. Temperance is that quiet inner voice that is trying to get their attention and tell them to slow down and actually deal with their emotions in a healthy way. But here's the thing, Cancer. Temperance is also a slow card. It is about gradual healing and patient integration, and this person is not quite there yet. They are having the awareness, but they are not fully acting on it. It is like they intellectually understand that they need to find balance and process things differently, but emotionally, they are still stuck in the patterns shown by the other cards in this reading. I am also seeing that Temperance might be indicating that this person is trying to convince themselves that they can have a balanced or moderate relationship with you in the future. Like maybe they are thinking we can be friends, or we can find some middle ground, or I can show them I have changed. There is this idea in their mind that they can alchemize the situation into something more manageable or less painful. But they are not fully understanding that real transformation requires genuine accountability and change. Temperance is angelic energy. It is about divine timing and healing. And I am getting that the universe or their higher self is trying to guide them toward actual healing, but they keep resisting it by staying in their head and their ego rather than dropping into their heart. This person has access to the wisdom they need, but they are not fully surrendering to the process yet. What you need to understand, Cancer, is that while this person might eventually get to a place of genuine balance and healing, they are not there right now. They are in the early stages of awareness, but they have not done the real work yet. Temperance is a promise of what could be, but it is not a description of where they currently are, and that distinction is important. Now let me get to the fifth card, and Cancer, this one is revealing. We have the Seven of Swords, and honestly, when this card came out, I understood immediately what is really going on beneath the surface. The Seven of Swords is the card of deception, strategy, sneaking around, hidden agendas, and not being fully honest. This card is telling me that this person is not being truthful about how they really feel. The Seven of Swords is showing me that while this person is publicly claiming they do not care about you, or that they have moved on, or that they are fine with everything, they are absolutely lying, not just to others, but to themselves. This is someone who is strategically managing their image and their narrative, and they are being very calculated about what they show and what they hide. I am seeing that this person might be checking up on you in secret. They could be looking at your social media profiles, asking mutual friends about you, driving by places they think you might be, or just generally keeping tabs on your life while pretending to everyone, including themselves, that they are completely indifferent. The Seven of Swords is that sneaky energy of wanting information, but not wanting to be seen as wanting information. There is also a strong sense with this card that this person is trying to deceive themselves about the reality of their situation. They are telling themselves stories that do not match the truth. They might be thinking I was right to act the way I did, or they never really mattered to me, or I am better off without them. But these are lies they are using to protect their ego from having to face the painful truth that they lost something valuable because of their own behavior. The Seven of Swords can also indicate someone who is plotting or planning, and I am getting that this person might be strategizing about how to eventually reconnect with you or get back into your life, but they are not approaching it from a place of genuine accountability or vulnerability. They are thinking about what they can say or do that will get them what they want, without actually having to admit fault or show real change. It is manipulation disguised as reconciliation. What is really important for you to know, Cancer, is that the Seven of Swords confirms that this person's external behavior is absolutely not matching their internal reality. Everything they are showing to the world is a performance, and beneath that performance is someone who is scared, confused, hurt, and unwilling to be honest about it. They are trapped in their own web of deception, and until they can face the truth, they cannot heal or grow. I also want to mention that the Seven of Swords can sometimes indicate that this person is dealing with guilt or shame that they are not processing in a healthy way. They might have done things in your relationship or connection that they know were wrong, but instead of owning it and apologizing, they are hiding from it and pretending it did not happen or was not a big deal. That unprocessed guilt is eating at them, even if they will not admit it. All right, Cancer, let me pull the final card. And we have the Hermit here, and this is such a powerful ending to this reading. The Hermit is the card of solitude, introspection, soul-searching, isolation, and inner wisdom. This card is showing me that ultimately this person is going to be forced into a period of being alone with themselves and their thoughts, and that is when the real reckoning is going to happen. The Hermit tells me that no matter how much this person tries to stay busy with the Eight of Pentacles energy, no matter how much they perform for others with the Hierophant energy, no matter how much they lie to themselves with the Seven of Swords energy, eventually they are going to have to face themselves in solitude. The universe is going to create circumstances where they cannot run anymore, where they cannot distract themselves anymore, where they have no choice but to look inward. This period of isolation might be literal, like maybe they end up spending more time alone than they are comfortable with, or it might be emotional, like feeling disconnected from others, even when they are physically surrounded by people. The Hermit energy is about that dark night of the soul, where we finally have to confront the truth about ourselves and our choices and our patterns. What I am seeing is that this person is being guided toward wisdom and self-awareness, but it is going to be a lonely journey. They are going to have to do this work by themselves. No amount of advice from others, no amount of external validation, no amount of distractions is going to prevent them from eventually having to sit with who they really are and what they really did and how they really feel. The Hermit is that unavoidable appointment with yourself. I am also getting that this person might withdraw from their social circles or their usual routines at some point as part of this process. The Hermit voluntarily seeks solitude for the purpose of self-discovery. And I am seeing that this person is going to reach a point where they realize they need to step back from the noise and the performance and actually figure themselves out. Whether they do the work once they are in that Hermit space is up to them, but the opportunity will be there. The Hermit also represents the inner light, the lantern that guides us through darkness. And this tells me that this person does have the capacity for genuine wisdom and growth if they are willing to embrace the journey. They can emerge from this Hermit period as a more authentic, self-aware, emotionally mature person, but only if they actually use that time for real introspection rather than just feeling sorry for themselves. So Cancer here is what all of these cards together are telling me. You have affected this person more deeply than they are willing to admit to anyone, including themselves. The Wheel of Fortune shows that your absence or your boundary has triggered a major karmic shift in their life. The Hierophant reveals that they are maintaining a public facade of not caring while privately struggling and seeking guidance. The Eight of Pentacles shows they are burying themselves in work and productivity to avoid their feelings. Temperance indicates they have glimpses of awareness that they need healing, but they are not fully there yet. The Seven of Swords confirms they are lying to themselves and others about the true state of their emotions. And the Hermit promises that eventually they will be forced to face themselves and do the inner work, whether they want to or not. The truth that I need you to understand is this. When someone says they do not care, when someone acts unbothered, when someone seems to move on effortlessly. That is often the biggest indicator that they care very much, and they are working overtime to hide it. People who genuinely do not care simply disappear from your consciousness. They do not perform indifference, they just exist in their own world without you in it. But this person is putting on a show, and that show requires an audience, and the fact that they are so invested in appearing fine tells you everything about how not fine they actually are. You hit them where it hurts, Cancer, and what hurt them was not anything cruel or vindictive you did. What hurt them was your absence, your boundary, your decision to honor yourself. What hurt them was the realization that they do not have access to you anymore. What hurt them was the consequence of their own behavior finally catching up to them. You did not hurt them, they hurt themselves, and now they have to live with that, and that is the deepest pain of all, because they cannot blame you. They can only blame themselves even if they are not ready to admit that yet. I hope this reading brought you some clarity and validation, Cancer. Sometimes we need to know that our impact was real, even when others pretend it was not. You are powerful, you are worthy, and you absolutely did the right thing by choosing yourself. Let them do their work in the hermit cave. You keep moving forward in your light,